Today did not arrive like a normal day. It didn't whisper, it didn't stumble, and it certainly didn't blend quietly into the noise of our endless scrolling. Today arrived like a pulse, steady, powerful, and impossible to ignore. And when the preview for the Jimin x Jungkook, Are You Sure? Season 2-inch photobook was finally released, the world didn't just react. It shifted. Something in the air thickened, softened, warmed. The moment the images appeared on our screens, it felt as though someone gently pressed a hand against our hearts and said, "Look closely. This matters." What unfolded in those frames was not the type of polished promotional material we've come to expect. It didn't have the glossy, careful distance of staged interactions. No, this felt different. It felt like walking into a moment that wasn't created for us at all. Like catching the soft glow of a lamp through a slightly open door. A glimpse into a space where laughter is unfiltered, where eye contact lasts just a little too long, where small gestures carry the weight of years, and where silence isn't empty but overflowing. Season 2 radiates a warmth that feels lived in, like a room touched by the passing of two people who know exactly how to breathe in the same rhythm. Every shot feels organic. Every touch feels instinctive. Every smile feels like it belongs to a story still being written between them. When the photos dropped, the fandom didn't just scream, they stopped. It felt like millions of hearts skipped at the same time. The images were beautiful, yes, but beauty wasn't what caused the collective meltdown. It was the sincerity, the rawness, the intimacy that felt too natural to be fabricated. This photobook isn't about aesthetics. It's about connection. About familiarity. About two people who understand each other in ways a camera can barely capture. One of the most tender sequences is when they hold cameras and film each other. It's a simple concept, but what breathes inside those moments is anything but simple. When Jimin looks at Jungkook through the lens, something in his expression softens. His eyes carry that quiet warmth reserved only for people who hold a special place in one's life. There's affection in the curve of his smile, gentleness in the angle of his gaze, pride in the way he frames Jungkook carefully, as if he's documenting someone he deeply cherishes. Jungkook responds with a shyness that feels genuine. His smile tugs at the corners of his lips as if he's trying not to show how flustered he feels. It's the kind of expression that only appears when someone is being seen, truly seen, by someone they trust. And then everything switches when Jungkook lifts his camera toward Jimin. Jungkook doesn't film him like an idol or like a co-star. He films him the way someone records a memory they want to keep close. His eyes soften, the world around him fades, and for a second, it feels like all that exists is the person in front of him. It's tender. It's protective. It's intimate in a way that no script could ever imitate. That's why fans once again crown Jungkook the boyfriend material of all boyfriend materials. Not because he's handsome, everyone knows that, but because of how he looks at Jimin. How he interacts with him. How natural everything feels when they're side by side. And nothing proves this more than the heart-stopping moment when Jungkook feeds Jimin. It happens so casually, so effortlessly, as if it was a habit formed long before any camera existed. The tenderness in the gesture is undeniable. Jimin's reaction makes it 10 times sweeter. Wide-eyed surprise, a shy laugh, a momentary freeze like he can't quite believe Jungkook just did that on camera. It's soft, sincere, and overflowing with affection that feels almost too real. Then came the era-defining chaos, the neck-coated moments of Season 2. It's as if Jimin was magnetically pulled toward Jungkook's neck in shot after shot. Sometimes his face hovers so close fans forget how to breathe. Sometimes he leans forward with a teasing glint in his eyes. And sometimes it looks like he's debating whether to bite Jungkook playfully. But the twist? Jungkook does it too. Their faces drift dangerously close, their noses nearly touching, their smiles too real, too unguarded. The fandom asked, half screaming, half sobbing, "Are they about to kiss?" The answer didn't matter. What mattered was how natural it looked. Like this was part of their private world long before cameras entered it. Their dynamic only becomes clearer with Jungkook's playful wolf mode. He runs around with chaotic energy, laughing too loud, moving too fast like an excited puppy who forgets the concept of personal space. And Jimin, soft, warm, endlessly steady Jimin, grounds him with a single touch. A hand on the shoulder. A light press on the arm. A quiet look that brings Jungkook's energy down to something gentle, something intimate. It shows a balance they've always had. Jungkook can be wild because Jimin is his calm. Nothing captures this better than the adorable scene where Jungkook imitates Jimin's poses. He mirrors him perfectly, from tiny smiles to cute hand gestures. It's funny, yes, but it's also revealing. You can only imitate someone so naturally when you've observed them closely. When you've watched them in quiet moments. When you know their small habits by heart. One of the most beautiful shots in the entire photo book is a quiet night scene. They sit side by side, no dramatic lighting, no exaggerated poses, no words. Just silence. But it's the kind of silence that feels like a blanket, warm, comforting, familiar. A silence that only exists between people who understand each other deeply. People who don't need to speak to feel close. And then came the moment that shook the entire fandom to its core. Jimin sitting on Jungkook's shoulders in the pool. The way Jimin climbs on is too natural. The way Jungkook holds him is too steady. There's no awkwardness, no hesitation. It looks like something they've done countless times off camera. The sight was so intimate, so playful, so full of trust that fans across the globe collectively screamed. It's not just physical closeness. It's emotional closeness, the kind built over years. Another heartwarming highlight is the forehead tap moment. Jimin taps Jungkook's forehead with one finger, laughing brightly. Jungkook blushes instantly, hiding behind his hand. It's pure softness. And when Jungkook taps Jimin back, Jimin giggles, touching Jungkook's shoulder in return. Feels like a dance. Small gestures that say everything words don't. A language they've learned over time. Each scene in Season 2 feels like a piece of a larger story. A story about trust. About friendship. About something deep and warm that lives quietly between two people and reveals itself only in stolen moments. The photo book doesn't feel like a photo shoot. Feels like a collection of memories. A diary of laughter, of closeness, of gentle touches, of shared silence, of two people who feel at home beside each other. And maybe that's why Season 2 feels so powerful. Because what we're seeing isn't performance. It's comfort. It's connection. It's something real, whatever real means for them. Season 2 is intimate. It is soft. It is bold. It is unexpectedly honest. So now the question lingers in the air, fragile and electrifying. If this is just the beginning, are we truly ready for what comes next?